All right, welcome to the end of the semester. This is a real exciting time. We're going to talk about basically overall strategies for fluid and electrolyte replacement. So, the first thing you need to do is you need to monitor your hydration. And the best way to do that is through urine. So, if you're there anywhere from a 4 and up, you're definitely dehydrated, and that will impact performance. Oftentimes, we see athletes who are all the way at a 7, right? So step one, you need to analyze your urine color, and you need to keep it really within 1 to 2, no more than 3. Okay, so you want to be, but I would recommend 1 to 2. So pre-event hydration strategies. The first thing you do is consume 5 to 7 mils of water per kilogram of body weight 4 hours before the event. Okay, so again, you want to be active, proactive. 4 hours before the event, 5 to 7 mils per kilogram of body weight. Now, if you look and 2 hours before the event, if you're still not producing a lot of urine, you're probably dehydrated. Or if your urine's still dark or highly concentrated, you should consume water again 2 hours before the event at about 3 to 5 mils per kilogram. Why do you hydrate so early before an event? Why not wait to the event? Because when you drink water, your urine output's going to increase, and that's annoying when you're actually playing a game, or especially if you're in a running event. So you want to give your body time to normalize urine output before the event starts. So we recommend consuming beverages with sodium, about 500 to 700 milligrams per liter, and or small amounts of salted snacks or sodium containing in foods, because that's going to stimulate thirst and help you, and also help you retain the fluid you drink. So people who are at risk for dehydration greater than 2% include athletes competing in hot and humid environments and athletes who wear high amounts of insulation like football players. So you really need to pay attention to these kids. Also, if you have high volume, high intensity training in non air conditioned gyms like CrossFit or strongman gyms or just old school training centers, dehydration is an issue. Or if you're a wrestler trying to make weight, clearly dehydration is going to be an issue. Again, there's a disconnect between fluid lost and the replacement of fluid. You look at the black for basketball, you see that's fluid lost, and then the gray is fluid replaced. There's a disconnect between the two, which leads to dehydration. So, what do we do? What do we do? Well, if you look at this table here, okay, your sweat rate is going to go up whether you're lightweight or heavy. If you're heavier, like 90 kilograms compared to 50, your sweat rate's going to be higher if you're heavier. And if you go 9.5 miles an hour versus 5.3 miles an hour, sweat rate's going to be higher. So sweat rate's going to vary depending on the intensity of the event, the 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 climate of the event, and how heavy the individual is. For this reason, it's almost impossible to predict how much fluid an individual athlete is going to lose. So what should they do? The answer is real simple. What they should do is they should weigh themselves before and after the event, and that tells them how much water they lost. So whatever event that is, during practice, you mimic the event and then strategize based on how much weight you lost. You should consume about 600 to 1200 milligrams of sodium and potassium with every liter of fluid lost. That's going to be important for retaining water. So we can see that here. One thing I want to point out here is that that you need to essentially replace with about 150% of the weight you lost with fluid. So if you lost a kilogram of body weight, then replace with 1.5 liters of water with sodium in it. This study decreased body weight by 2%. They gave 100 milligrams of sodium, or 2 grams, they gave 2 grams of sodium, 1 gram of sodium, or 500 milligrams of sodium. Notice here that urine volume was lowest in the 2 grams of sodium condition. So having sodium in your fluid will help you retain fluid, as opposed to having low sodium in your fluid, in which you'll urinate out more fluid. This is looking at basically 2% decline in body mass. So you're looking at net fluid balance. What I want you to notice is here, this is net fluid balance with 100 milligrams of sodium. Okay, with 100 milligrams of sodium, you retain about 71% of ingested fluid volume. And this is net balance is negative with 0 sodium. Okay, and notice that sodium balance is directly related to these effects. And we see summary of the study here. Net sodium balance is directly related to net fluid balance. So if we summarize this, step 1 is to stay hydrated with meals by drinking water with all meals. At 4 hours before an event, you have dark urine, consume 5 to 7 mils per kilogram body weight. If urine output is still low 2 hours before an event, 3 to 5 mils. Weigh yourself before and after exercise in a similar environment to your competition. Consume at least this amount during exercise with 600 to 1200 milligrams of sodium with every liter, depending on whether or not you are or are not a salty sweater. Again, weigh yourself before and after exercise and replenish with about 150% of what you lost. So if you lost a kilogram of body weight, consume 1.5 liters. Also, for every liter you consume, you should add 2 grams of sodium to be in positive fluid balance.